Morning, swingers. I've had some really good comments about the video that I did yesterday, talking about PTSD. You know, in a nutshell, just telling you what it's all about and stuff like that. So I thought, really lots of positive comments, lots of comments from guys that have served or are still serving in the military, which actually means quite a lot, because it just goes to show that there's more of this kind of going on than people realise. So then I thought, I'd just quickly jump in there about in relation to myself. When did I realise I had a problem? I suppose I thought I'd had a problem for years, really, but I'd kind of been pushing it away because I'd had a term of reference from seeing about other people. Like, a very good friend of mine had it really bad, and I was nowhere like that. I wasn't abusing drugs, I wasn't abusing alcohol or anything, I was still getting pissed, do you know what I mean? But there was no dark or hidden meaning behind it as such. So essentially, I didn't really think I had a problem, and that it was perfectly normal to be introverted as I was, and living in my own world, staring into space. But I noticed, it was other people that were pointing out to me, saying, why are you miserable? Why are you being grumpy? Why aren't you talking to me? Is it something that I've done? Stuff like that. When in fact it isn't at all. It's not that at all. It's more a case of you're stuck in your own little world, and you don't realise what's going on outside. So essentially what you're doing is you're living in the reptilian part of your brain, which is the amygdala, which is your fight or flight, essentially. But because you're so tense up, you're doing it all the time. So notice little things like I'd be walking into somewhere and finding out where the exits were, or walking down the road if I saw people walking towards me that I thought could potentially be a threat, be tensing up my fist, getting ready to hit them and stuff like that. It's not really normal behaviour. Doing my 5 and 20s, as I'm walking along, seeing 5 and 20s is, seeing where you can take cover, where you can run to and things like that. It's just bizarre behaviour, I remember once my wife Sarah, she said to me that, I never knew what kind of mood you'd come home in, and that sort of like started hitting home. And then I knew there was, something going wrong. I was having nightmares, a couple of flashbacks and stuff like that. And it was really starting to affect everything, my memory, my work, my attitude. I had this mask on, as I would call it. You put your mask on because you're coming in, because then it's setting the depression and all this sort of stuff. And then obviously the really dark thoughts, the suicidal thoughts, they do creep in, and that's a fact. You do get these suicidal thoughts, and thinking, oh my God, I should have died in the Gulf War and things like that, and everyone would be better off without me. And I remember having a discussion with my wife about this, in the depths of the darkness of the black dog. And and I can just remember sort of saying, why has everyone been so selfish? This is what I want. I can't deal with this anymore. This is so bad. This is just a terrible thing. And I remember one night Sarah was out. I think she was out with Richie. I can't remember. And I'd probably had too much Asbac to drink. Yes, I have Asbac at home. And I just had essentially a mental breakdown, and I was in tears in there, and I actually called combat stress, and I said, I can't go on like this, I've got a wife, I've got a child, and I need to address this, I need to sort this out. So the acceptance is the most important thing, is the acceptance. You've got to realise that there is something wrong with you, alright, okay? Now don't worry about that. Being crazy is fucking fine. I've been doing it for years, there's not a problem with that. But there's kind of good crazy, and there's like freaking off the wall Rambo in First Blood crazy, where he goes, nothing is over, which is the best part of Rambo, actually, when he fucking loses it, because I'm sure that there's so many people out there that feel like that. So first, stage one, okay, is acceptance. Realise you've got a problem. Call someone like Combat Stress. There's so many agencies out there. Call them, talk to them, and then that's your first step. All right, I'll be posting some more stuff, sort of giving you an idea of my journey, because I'm still not through it. I'm still going through it. I've still got a long way to go, but I know this is helping. So anyway, it's Friday. Have a good Friday, and I'm off tomorrow to the Eden Beer Festival with some of the boys I grew up with. Looking forward to that. And anyway, I'll keep you updated. Probably not when I'm pissed though, because that could just go terribly wrong. All right, peace and all that.